This is Valerie VanBooven with the Senior Care Industry Netcast, where leaders with 3 or more years in the senior care industry share their advice. It's 6 questions in about 9 minutes, so let's get to it. So in a few sentences, tell us who you are and what you do.
Hi, I'm Dr. Emily Reilly. I'm an occupational therapist and owner of Purposefully Home in Scottsdale, Arizona. So I do community and home-based services to ensure adults and seniors have the opportunity to stay in their home as long as possible.
Yay, and you're our first occupational therapist that we've had on.
Yay!
Awesome, I love it. What is the best thing about serving aging adults?
So I really love to help empower them, after illness or just seeing that number get higher.
Mm-hmm.
I really like to help show them what they still can do and help alleviate the stress their family members or caregivers might feel because of the worry they might have for them getting older.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've had, on the opposite end of the spectrum, we have triplets. And so one of our little girls, when they were little, they're not little anymore, they're 13.
Oh, wow.
We took her to an occupational therapist. And I know that, obviously the power of occupational therapy. And I'm a nurse, so I understood it. But to see the difference in her fine little motor movement after just a few visits was amazing. So it's just so many ways it can help people. Okay, so I'm going to switch gears just a little bit for a minute. I hear from other senior service providers that online marketing can be challenging, it's confusing, and I know it's ever changing. What has been your experience or thoughts, especially right now when we can't visit in person as much?
Yeah, it definitely can be challenging because you just kind of envision that everyone's on the internet, so you just figure that they'll see you.
Yeah.
But it's been a really actually great way to connect. So it's been to my favor to really meet people that I otherwise wouldn't have, kind of beyond my bubble. But as for kind of building that presence, it really does take a lot longer time than you would expect. And so to really reach the clients and the audience, it can be challenging just because of the time that it takes. But I do feel like it's been a really great avenue. I wouldn't say fast track avenue, but
Right.
It's been an avenue to really connect with some really great leaders and professionals that I probably otherwise wouldn't have.
I totally agree with that. I totally agree. All right, so let's go back to your wisdom. What I would imagine, we have other successful leaders in our lives that have made a difference for us. So is there any organization or person that you'd like to give a shout out to or talk about how they've made an impact on either your career or your life or anything?
There are so many. It's hard to really just identify one, but I here in the local area, Voss Barros, he kind of dabbles in a lot of different things, but he created a Facebook group and it's for Arizona healthcare professionals. And that's really allowed me to connect with a lot of people. And it's just been a really great way to meet, a lot of leaders. And then another organization is a home health company, Sunland Home Health. And I've had the opportunity to meet Tracy, and everybody's really busy, but she really has been, kind of a distant leader that I've been able to look up to and see to help kind of grow. And then, of course, because occupational therapy is so important and we are really branching out beyond the traditional pediatric and hospital-based settings, Kara Welke is the kind of leader behind Next Level Occupational Therapy, and that's connected me to so many entrepreneurs and really shown me that, it is possible. It is hard, but it's a really great place to connect with them.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's so nice when you meet other folks in your niche that are doing what you're doing and have started a business and are branching out in advancing beyond the traditional of what you normally would be expected to do. So that's great. I love that.
Yeah.
All right. What piece of advice would you give other senior care providers?
To really kind of, we all have the best interest of our seniors, but I still feel that in order to protect them, we just kind of naturally want to keep them safe. And I don't want to say sedentary on purpose, but really to empower them and kind of, dignify them despite their illness, despite their age, despite the, the vulnerability that they have, and really continue to find ways to engage them in, even if it's something as simple as brushing their teeth, but really finding dignified ways to engage them in activity. I think finding something purposeful each and every day is so important, and not that it goes overlooked on purpose. We kind of get in our own routine and what we have to do, that I think to make it a real point to be purposeful each and every day.
I would agree. And any kind of activity that you can find that complements or helps, I guess, whether it's getting over a stroke or whatever it is. I mean, we write so many articles about just even container gardening and putting a little pot on their level to have them plant flowers and use their hands to create something. There's little things you can do. It doesn't have to be that messy either.
Right, exactly.
But yeah, little things that just keep them moving and working toward a goal. And I get what you're saying too. I mean, we don't want them to fall. We don't want them to, start doing something that might hurt them. But I agree. We need to get them in some activity each day, even if it's something small, like brushing their teeth.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Okay. All right. This is our fun question. Probably some people say it's our hardest question, but when you have a win in life or in business, or a client does something amazing or made so much good progress, how do you celebrate?
Yeah, that is challenging because it's hard to recognize those moments. But I am a people person, so I feel like when I have those moments, I'm definitely on the phone pretty much with everyone. I call my dad and call, maybe text my uncle, friends and family. A lot of them live kind of out of state from where I am. So definitely a lot of phone calls and texts to be like, hey, I did this and this is so exciting. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, and it's hard for us to say we get together
Yeah.
and have a little party or celebration because we kind of, maybe in small groups, but we're kind of still not really getting together and, big groups or with folks that might be more vulnerable. So I totally get it. I think there's been a lot more celebrating on Zoom lately than, or on FaceTime than any other way. But yeah, anytime you can, I think seeing a difference, and I know you know this better than I do, seeing a difference in a client from the day they started with you to the day that they met a goal, that is such a win. Just to be able to see them maybe pass a test so they can drive again, or maybe it's not even that big. You just, they can button their own shirt or whatever it is.
Exactly. Getting out of bed or getting into the bathroom, or just, I actually had a client say, I never thought I would hug a stranger, let alone in my bathroom. But they were so happy.
That's a win for sure.
Yeah,
absolutely. All right. Well, Dr. Emily Reilly, thank you so much for being on the show. We will put all of your contact information with this video. And if the folks in your local area want to connect with you and see how you can maybe help their loved one, that would be awesome.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for having me. It's been so fun. Bye.
Bye-bye.